Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 21. Chapter 21 is entitled Dynasty of Bharata. Text number 8. Yate Shudre Tam Anyo Agad. Yate Shudre Tam Anyo Agad. Atithihi Shwabhir Avritaha. Atiti Shwabhiravritaha. Rajan me diyata annam. Rajan me diyata annam. Saganaya bubhukshate. Saganaya bubhukshate. Yate shudre tamanyoga. Atitishvabhiravritaha. Rajan me diyatam annam. Saganaya bubhukshate. Yate shudre tamanyogat. Atitishvabhiravritaha. Rajan me diyatam annam. Saganaya bubhukshate. Yate shudre tamanyogat. Atitishvabhiravritaha. Rajan me diyatam annam. Saganaya bubhukshate. Yate shudre tamanyogat. Atitishvabhiravritaha. Rajan me diyatam annam. Saganaya bhukshate. Yate, when he went away, Shudre, the Shudra guest, Tam, unto the king, Anyaha, another, Agat, arrived there, Atithihi, guest, Shwabhihi, Avritaha, accompanied by dogs, Rajan, O king, may unto me diyata deliver annam eatables saganaya with my company of dogs bubhukshate hankering for food. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When the Shudra went away, another guest arrived, surrounded by dogs, and said, O king, I and my company of dogs are very hungry please give us something to eat. Please repeat this translation after me. When the Shudra went away, another guest arrived, surrounded by dogs, and said, "O king, I and my company of dogs are very hungry. Please give us something to eat." I shall read the remaining 3 verses by myself. Text 9. Sa adritya avashishtam yad bahumana puraskritam taccha dattva namaschakre shvabhya shvapataye vibhuhu. Translation. With great respect, King Rantideva offered the balance of the food to the dogs and the master of the dogs who had come as guests. The king offered them all respects and obeisances. Text 10. Paniyamatram uchchesham tacchaika paritarpanam pasyata pulkaso bhyagat apodehi ashubhaya me. Translation. Thereafter, only the drinking water remained, and there was only enough to satisfy one person. But when the king was just about to drink it, a Chandala appeared and said, "O king, although I am low-born, kindly give me some drinking water." Text 11. Tasyatam karunam vacham nishamya vipulashramam kripaya brisha santapta idam ahamritam vachaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Aggrieved at hearing the pitiable words of the poor, fatigued Chandala, Maharaj Rantideva spoke the following nectarian words. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Rantideva's words were like amrita or nectar, and therefore, aside from rendering bodily service to an aggrieved person, by his words alone, the king could save the life of anyone who might hear them. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharini. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this section of the Bhagavatam is describing something very, very unusual. That just to glorify this great devotee king, Krishna arranged this, that after he had fasted for 48 days without even taking water, and when he was just about to break the fast, all these people, one after another, guests are arriving. And the glorious Vedic culture is such that a guest is actually worshipped. According to Taittiriya Upanishad, Atithi Devo Bhava. So there are certain personalities who are designated as worshipable, especially by a householder. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. 4 I can remember. There are more. So, like this, a grihastha, a householder who's entangled in family life, may actually free himself from the entanglement simply by following these particular instructions in the scriptures. How he actually conducts himself in family life. So, this section of the Bhagavatam is illustrating that a pure devotee like Rantideva is a perfect follower of all the Vedic injunctions and more. As will be evident, this King Rantideva, being a pure devotee, he not only wanted to just follow the rules and regulations, but his heart was aggrieved by seeing others suffering. This is the special thing about a devotee. Paradukhe dukhi. Paradukhe dukhi. Because on account of himself, a devotee has no distress, has no grief, has no suffering. He is always happy in Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj says this, that Vadvirya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chittaha. That as far as I am concerned, simply by singing your glories and my mind becoming absorbed in such glorification, I am very happy. I am well situated. But still, he is concerned, or rather, he is aggrieved about something else. Shochetato vimukachetasa indriyartha maya sukhaya bharamudvahato vimudha. Prahlad is telling, my own personal conduct, I am happy by my personal conduct. As a devotee, I am engaged in glorification of the Supreme Lord, and my mind is absorbed in that. But I am aggrieved because of some other reason. When I look at these people, materialistic people, ignorant people, foolish people, who are vimukha chetasa, they have turned away from Krishna. They are not Krishna conscious. Why? Indriyartha maya sukhaya bharam. Simply for the sake of some illusory happiness, which is typical standard of enjoyment of the materialists. Maya sukhaya bharam. And they are engaged in so many such activities through which they are always seeking this maya sukha, illusory happiness. And that is particularly with reference to sense enjoyment, sense gratification, indriyartha. Instead of engaging their senses in devotional service and becoming completely happy, they engage their senses in sense gratification only for the sake of illusory happiness, and they are entangled, they suffer, always suffering some distress, and under the spell of the illusory energy, distress is taken as happiness by them sometimes. If the distress is very, 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 very acute, then they think, oh, I am undergoing distress. If it is not so acute, they become conditioned to accept that not so painful distress as happiness, because that's a kind of relief they get. It's a kind of relief they get. So, relief from distress is interpreted under illusion as happiness. So, Prahlad Maharaj says, I am aggrieved seeing the condition of these poor, foolish, ignorant, materialistic persons. So he's thinking, how can I deliver them? Similarly, Rantideva also, Krishna wanted to glorify his devotee, so he arranged this. That will be evident in the next few verses. So, under extreme conditions, he is remaining sober. Under extreme conditions, a person may maintain the sobriety or the stability of the mind under favorable conditions. Just like when I am having my prasadam and my health is good and I'm not immediately having some anxiety or fear, and I am engaged in some pious activity, I think I'm a happy man. I'm a happy person. I have no problem. I'm enjoying life. So at such time, I appear to be very, very sober. But if there is some cause for disturbance, then I'm not able to maintain my sober behavior. Either I may become angry, or I may become frustrated, or I may become, I may start lamenting, or I may become unhappy, so many things. Then my sobriety is gone. Whereas here is the example of Rantideva, who followed the etiquette not just out of some practice of pious activities, but because his heart was very much aggrieved looking at the suffering of these people, that he was willing to do whatever required to relieve them of their suffering. And how is this possible? Generally, any person in this world is always having the first concern for his self. What is most dear to oneself? One's own self is most dear. So therefore, many places in the scriptures it is described For the devotees of Krishna, Krishna is dearer than their own very life. That's because, why is it said like that? Because for non-devotees, for them the dearmost is their own self, their own life. So the tendency is, when my life is in danger, then I first think of saving myself, even though there may be others who may be requiring help. It's just like recently that train accident, horrible train accident in Odisha happened. 3 trains involved in that accident. And so many people, I don't know how many were killed. Many were very seriously injured. They were requiring help. So at that time, a person who is himself or herself injured or their life is in danger, what will they first do after the accident? First, they will try to take care of themselves. And then they will think of helping others. So that's natural. People will think that's natural. But that is not the way of a devotee. A devotee's heart is always inclined to serve Krishna. And serving Krishna means Krishna is not alone. Krishna is always with his part and parcel. So Krishna means Krishna with all his devotees, with all the living entities, with all his paraphernalia, with his abode, with his energies, everything. That is the conception of the absolute truth or conception of Krishna that devotees have. So Rantideva always saw everyone in their relationship with Krishna as Krishna's part and parcel. So since he is a pure devotee, he is for him Krishna is dearer than his own life. And Krishna means Krishna with his part and parcel. So therefore, for Antideva, all these people who appeared to seek some relief, his heart cried for their suffering condition. So we can see in his behavior or reaction that after having fasted 48 days, when he is just about to break the fast, a Brahmana guest arrives. He receives him very patiently without getting upset, properly worships him, Atiti Devo Bhava, and then he gives him a share of the food, and after he is gone, next immediately he divides the remaining food with his relatives, and he has got his own share. So whatever remaining, let us, because his relatives are also observing the fasting. So when he was about to eat his own share, one Shudra came. I'm very hungry. Please give me some food. So he again divided his share with that Shudra and gave him. Then after the Shudra went away, another guest arrived surrounded by dogs. See, the Brahmana and Shudra came alone. But the third time, the guest arrived just when he's about to eat his little share, whatever remaining. This third guest is actually surrounded by dogs. I and my company of dogs are very hungry. Please give us something to eat. So, with great respect, he offered the balance of the food, whatever little was remaining, for him to consume. He gave it to the dogs and the master of the dogs, and he offered them all respects and obeisances. He did not have any self-pity that I'm fasting, I'm about to break my fast. They have also come. How can I deny them? It is not proper. So let me give them. Let me suffer. He is not thinking, let me suffer. Rather, he is taking satisfaction and pleasure, and with great respect, he is offering them even his own share. And then only the drinking water remained, and that was also enough to satisfy one person. Now, is there a scarcity of drinking water in his kingdom or in his palace? No. Then why is it said there was only enough drinking water to satisfy one person? What's the reason? Definitely there was plenty of drinking water available. Food, you may say, is cooked food is not available readily, correct? Grains may be there, but that has to be prepared, cooked. Then only he can eat. He can't eat raw grains. Generally, a person doesn't eat raw grains. Food means you take cooked grains. Okay. So whatever cooked food, prasadam, is exhausted. But why is it said the drinking water remained only enough to satisfy one person? Where is the scarcity of drinking water? Vishnu Charan, what's the answer? Why is it said only enough to satisfy one person? Yes, Vishwabhana got the right answer. A devotee does not accept anything that is not offered to the Supreme Lord, including water. So he had offered water and food items to the Supreme Lord, and that prasadam he was about to partake. So that prasadam, drinking water, was just enough to satisfy one person. And he was about to drink that. Nothing else is there. And he's been doing nirjal. So that will also give him relief. So when he's about to drink that, a Chandala appeared and said, although I am low born, I am very thirsty. Kindly give me some drinking water. We have heard many times that if you go to somebody's house when they're just about to have their dinner or have their snack or something, we feel embarrassed. Why am I coming at the wrong time? Because we are disturbing them. Because we know, even though externally they may say, oh, please come, please come. But within their heart, they're thinking, why did this nonsense person come now? And I'm just about to eat my dinner or lunch or something like that. Whereas a devotee's attitude is never like that. Always a devotee puts others first rather than his own self. That is because always a devotee's attitude is Krishna first. And Krishna means Krishna is never alone. Krishna with his part and parcel. Krishna is never alone. So this understanding of Krishna is only possible for a pure devotee of Krishna. The others may have some knowledge or understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth as the Supreme Person, Krishna. But they always see Krishna as the topmost, the greatest, and they see others as subordinate to Krishna. They are not able to see others also as an inseparable part of Krishna. This is a very important point. Inseparable part. You cannot separate anyone from Krishna. Why? Eternally related. Every living being is eternally related with Krishna. Eternally connected. And that connection cannot be lost. In the material world, it appears like we have lost our relationship or connection with Krishna. It appears like that. And that also is the covering potency of the illusory energy, avarnatmika, shakti. Prakshepatmika and avarnatmika, two kinds of effect of the covering of the illusory energy on every conditioned soul. One is avarnatmika, it covers our real identity, that we are part and parcel of Krishna, each one of us, and we are always connected with Krishna. We are never separated from Krishna. We cannot be separated from Krishna. But because of this desire to enjoy independently, therefore Krishna arranges the covering by the illusory energy, that we forget, oh, I am actually part of Krishna. I forget that due to the covering influence of this illusory energy, and I think, oh, I am alone. I am independent. Only then I can enjoy independently. Otherwise, how can I enjoy independently? Not possible. So that covering is necessary to satisfy the perverted desire of the conditioned soul to enjoy independent of Krishna. Avarnatmika. And prakshepatmika, if we try to get out of this material existence when we are too much aggrieved or too much distressed, then Maya will not allow us to get out. Why? Because where will we go? If this place is not very nice, where will I go? I cannot go to the spiritual world. Because spiritual existence means never alone, never independent, always dependent on Krishna, always with Krishna. So therefore, as long as we don't awaken our devotional consciousness, Krishna consciousness, we can only be in this material world. We cannot get out of this material existence. Therefore, the only way to get out of material existence, the only way to get permanent relief from all our suffering is to awaken our original Krishna consciousness. The only way. And therefore, Maya is doing this service to Krishna, that all those souls who want to enjoy independently, who don't want to surrender to Krishna, Maya keeps them here and keeps them bound out. Whereas pure devotees who are always Krishna conscious, Maya does not even touch them. Maya doesn't have to do anything with them. On the other hand, Maya is serving them. Maya is serving them, making all arrangements for their devotional service to Krishna. That is Yoga Maya. The same Maya in the material world acts as Mahamaya for the conditioned souls. The same Maya acts as Yoga Maya for the pure devotees. Not only pure devotees, even others who may not be pure devotees but are engaged in pure devotional service under guidance of a pure devotee, for them also, when they are engaged in pure devotional service, this Mahamaya acts like Yoga Maya. That's how devotees experience miracles happening in their life. Because neophyte devotees know, I don't deserve. I don't deserve whatever is happening in my devotional life. Then how is it happening? It is because out of Krishna's mercy upon his devotee. Krishna arranges protection or shelter of his internal potency, which is directly under his control. Even the external energy is under his control, but external energy, he is aloof. He is the superintendent of the external energy, but from a distance. But the internal potency, directly Krishna is involved with all details, personally is involved. So a devotee always is under the shelter and protection of the internal potency. Krishna says this, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritah bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva bhutadim. So, devotees, pure devotees like Rantideva, they never care for their own self. And therefore, Krishna always, through his internal potency, always takes charge of the maintenance, the supply, everything of his pure devotees. Directly, Krishna is personally involved in a pure devotee's life. So the pure devotee is completely under shelter, protection, and care of Krishna. We don't even say under the shelter of the internal potency. Say directly under Krishna's care, because internal potency means Krishna is personally involved. Krishna is personally involved. And external energy, indirectly Krishna controls through his agents. Just like even the directors of the three gunas, Krishna is not acting as the director of the three gunas, though he is the controller of the three gunas. Material nature consists of three gunas. So he has got his agents, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma and Shiva, they are different personalities than Krishna himself as the Supreme Person. Now Vishnu is Krishna himself. So then somebody will say, oh, Sattva Guna director is Krishna himself. So is he directly involved in superintendence or giving direction to the Sattva Guna? No. Even that, he is not directly involved. He is not directly involved. So Vishnu is never directly involved, either as Mahavishnu or as Garbhodakshai Vishnu or as Kshirodakshai Vishnu. He is not directly involved. So always from a distance. Aloof completely from the gunas, including Sattva Guna. So, in this way, pure devotees are completely cared for by Krishna personally, and they don't have to worry or be bothered about their own self. And they are always in the consciousness of serving Krishna. Krishna means Krishna's parts and parcels. So they're always engaged in serving others, never in taking care of themselves. And Krishna takes care of them. So that will be nicely explained in this description of Ranti Deva. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.